right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take. Shapiro coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Our Hollywood insider. He is a right-wing Republican. We call him Mr. X, longtime Hollywood producer. Can't give his real name on the show in fear of losing his job, but he'll be joining us coming up at the bottom of the hour. Ken Thompson coming up in hour number 3, breakdown week 1 college football. If you want to make some money, you're going to definitely want to listen to that segment. And also a couple extremely talented and attractive women from the hit show on the Las Vegas Strip, Wow, the Vegas Spectacular, and we'll be giving away some tickets to that show as well. They'll be joining us coming up in hour number 3. Now, we got to get through the news real quickly here. John Schaefer, usually he's the news anchor here. He's the program director, news anchor. He does a little bit of everything. So he usually does the news for us. But today, replacing him will be my co-host, J.D. Sharp, who is in dire need. He needs to go to the restroom. He needs to unload on the toilet. So I said, J.D., let's try to run through this, and then you can go to the restroom. So go ahead, J.D. I don't want you to go in your pants, so go ahead.
A wrong-way driver hit a Las Vegas Metro crime scene analyst head-on the 215 near Flamingo early Friday morning. The CSA suffered minor injuries when she was hit head-on by the other driver shortly after 3 a.m. The driver of the wrong-way vehicle was arrested on DUI charges.
Now, I don't like it. It sounds like you're reading a teleprompter. It doesn't sound natural, and you just put the script underneath it, so you're going to read it again. So I recommend you take that script underneath there and put it to the side. Otherwise, you're going to read it again. Okay, I'm just trying to help you out. By the way, I don't even know why I'm helping you out. It would have been great if you read the same script over again. So I'm not going to help you anymore.
Now, I knew there was 4 pieces of paper. I would have stopped on the 4th, right. Brian.
Where's John Schaefer?
I'm fully capable of counting.
Where's John Schaefer?
Hey,
can we get John Schaefer in the studio, please?
That's actually a great question.
Can we get a real news anchor? Okay, go ahead. Next story.
A second rural Nevada. Rural.
Wait. What did you just say?
Rural. It's hard to say the word rural. Rural. Nevada County is making emergency plans in case crowds arrive for a quote-unquote Storm Area 51 event that has drawn millions of social media fans. Organizers of the event hope people will gather and try to make their way into the once top-secret U.S. Air Force test area known in popular lore as a site... Popular lore as a site for government studies of aliens. The NYE County Declaration went into effect Thursday ahead of events September 20th through 22nd.
That's a very popular story, by the way. You just put the script back in there. You're going to read it again if you don't put it down. Okay. By the way, Area 51, that is actually a very big story. We're hoping, JD, right, that we're going to do a show out there. We want to talk to these alien nut jobs who think that they're going to storm Area 51 and just go in there and just steal some aliens, and maybe they can probe some aliens. It's not going to happen, but that is an interesting story. Okay, go ahead. I know you need to use the restroom, so go ahead. Read the next story.
Okay, it's going to be a busy weekend in Las Vegas. 325,000.
Is it, you say?
325,000 visitors are expected in Vegas over the 3-day holiday weekend. That is a 1.2% increase over last year. The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority says that translates to an estimated $235 million.
Well, let's be honest here. Las Vegas is a very popular place to be. So, yes, go ahead.
A driver caught speeding at 110 miles per hour on the A1 in England told police...
Wait, A1?
On the A1, yes.
Isn't that steak sauce?
That is steak sauce, but it is also a very, very popular interstate in England, apparently. Told police it was because he needed the toilet. See, I can relate to that. A silver Mercedes was stopped by...
no ad-libbing in the middle of the script.
By an unmarked police car. It was seen speeding in awful weather conditions. The driver told the officer who stopped him he was very sorry, but he, again, needed the toilet. A number 2, drivers caught speeding in excess of 100 miles per hour face losing their license.
If I had to go either number 2 in my pants or take a risk of going 100 miles an hour on the highway for a minute or two, sadly, I would probably break the law and go 100 miles an hour. But speaking of going number 2, JD, why don't you leave the studio? Go ahead. Good job, by the way. You did a good job, actually. You did a fine job. You're going to be very popular reading the news every day. Anyway, JD did a good job. He's never done the news before, so I do give him credit for that. Very popular. Anyway, this is a big story for a lot of different reasons, and I have a lot of opinions on this one, and I want to share. Do you remember years back when former NFL player Michael Sam, he had a cup of coffee in the NFL? Right before the draft, he came out, literally, and said he was gay. And I questioned his motivation. Look, first of all, I don't care what your sexuality is, whether you're a musician or an NFL player or anything. Unless I'm dating you, I don't care what your sexual orientation is. Why would I? You don't hear many professional athletes these days coming out. We had John Amici, a former NBA player for the Orlando Magic. He came out, and there's been a few other players that have come out before as well. And we know that there are a lot more in the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, everywhere that are homosexuals, but, unfortunately, they're in fear. But I do believe there are certain situations where people come out because they want attention. I do believe there are certain situations where professional athletes come out to help further their career, to get their name out there. I believe Michael Sam did that, and now we have another player, and I sort of believe he's doing the same thing. I hate to say it, because I think anyone should be proud of who they are. But free agent defensive end Ryan Russell says he wants to live his dream of playing in the NFL again and to live his life openly, right? No problem with that. Well, he said those two objectives shouldn't be in conflict. He's 27 years old. He was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in 2015, and he played in 23 games with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the following 2 seasons. He came out as bisexual in what a lot of people would say was a heartfelt essay at ESPN. He is, this is key here, guys. He is not on an NFL contract. Russell missed the 2018 season after a shoulder injury and says he recently met with an NFL team interested in signing him and vowed it would be the last time he would. I got to be honest with you. Like I've said before, I'll say it again. I don't care what your sexuality is. I don't care if you're bi, straight, gay. I don't care. And most people out there shouldn't. And I think it is sad if people live their lives in fear of coming out of the closet. Because let's be honest, there's some discrimination out there. Look at our vice president, Mike Pence, who speaks to the Bible all the time. And he's a good Christian, Mike Pence, right? Well, his wife works at a school that does not allow homosexuals to even attend the school or work there. Folks, make no mistake about it, that is discrimination. I don't care what your religion tells you. I don't care what you want to believe. And you can believe in whatever you want. You can conduct your life any way you want to, so long as it's legal. But don't push your beliefs out on other people. That's exactly what Mike Pence does. Mike Pence is another guy that believes in conversion therapy. Remember, he was in favor of that bill to possibly, luckily it didn't pass, force homosexuals to go to conversion therapy, because Mike Pence is a hateful person. Make no mistake about it. Him and his wife are disgusting people as far as I'm concerned. You work at a school that doesn't allow homosexuals, you're a disgusting person. That is discrimination. And that is the man that is our vice president. So trust me, folks, I am in favor of people being comfortable in the shoes that they are in, being able to express themselves so long as it's legal. But personally, me, I just don't care, right? I don't want these NFL players. Like, do we need NFL players coming out saying that they're straight? Just live your life. Why do you have to tell everybody? That part of it I really don't understand, and I am questioning Ryan Russell's motives here. Again, it's the players who are not on big contracts. It's the players that are struggling to make it, to get those contracts, that all of a sudden they feel that they feel the need to come out and express themselves that they are gay. And while I don't support any type of discrimination in any way, shape, or form based on gender, sexuality, I also don't really care about these players that are struggling to get NFL contracts that are talking about what their sexuality is. We'll open up the phone lines. It is the GCI Guys hotline. Now would be the time to give us a call. 702-257-5396. Again, that number if you want to be a part of this conversation, and it isn't interesting. And what do you think? You want to hear from these athletes coming out saying whether they're gay or straight? I really don't care. I don't want to know. I don't care. The number to call again if you want to be a part of this conversation is 257-5396. Let's go to Roberto. Roberto, what's going on? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, what's going on, guys? The controversy really hasn't started yet. Suppose the guy who comes out is either a center or a quarterback.
Yeah.
How are they going to react?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it matters what your position is.
If you're the center, you don't want nobody putting their hand.
Well, I think no. Come on, that's homophobic.
We all know that.
No,
it will happen.
That's homophobic.
It is
Now you're being homophobic.
It will definitely happen.
So you're telling me? Hold on, Roberto. Let's try to be serious here. I would imagine this is a serious phone call. You're telling me?
Yeah, because
hold on.
Hear me out. These guys are macho in the NFL. You don't want to have some guy putting his hand back there if you're the quarterback.
First of all, nobody is touching your genitalia, so make no mistake about it. That is not happening.
You ever watch football when they come up and they put their hand
Yes, it's not in a sexual way. It's not in a sexual... Roberto.
I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just saying people will have a problem with that.
I don't think so. I think here's where I think
you're not living in the real world.
No, hold on. Here,
so.
okay, no, you're not listening
you're
to
not
me.
living in the real
You're
world,
not,
sir.
Roberto. You're not listening to me. Listen for a second. Okay, here's where I think people would have an issue with it, and perhaps in the showers, in the locker rooms. I think people could have an issue with that because they could think that, hey, this person is gay. I'm taking my clothes off. He could be turned on by me.
Look,
that's. But listen, hold on. Let me finish. But when somebody is giving you a football, okay, not touching you in a sexual way, it's a physical sport. There's nothing sexual about that. I'm sorry, Roberto. I disagree with you. And I
didn't say it was sexual. I'm just saying it's a thing about manhood.
Well, I think that's homophobic.
And you know what? Something else. People have a trouble with gender bathrooms now. What makes you think they ain't gonna have trouble with this?
Well, I think there are some people that could have trouble with it, but I think those people are homophobic. Now, listen, I understand where they're coming from when it comes to the shower.
My point is, I ain't talking about sexual touch. I'm just saying, people.
You're saying people are going to have problems with it. I understand what you're saying, and you might be right.
At you when you go to the bathroom, you don't want somebody looking at you when you're peeing.
That's not happening, Roberto. That's not happening. Okay, I appreciate the call, Roberto, but I'm sorry, that's not happening. When I've never had somebody stare at my junk when I'm going to the bathroom. 257-5396, the number to call. Let's go to Chris. Chris, what's going on?
Hey, good morning, guys. I've been listening to you recently. I don't normally get to because of the time I work, but hey, you guys got a really good show. I want to praise you for having both sides trying to be very fair, and I really do appreciate it.
I appreciate that, Chris. There's a lot of shows that you might or might not listen to that are one side of the aisle. I never wanted to do a show like that. I never would do a show like that, and we try to be fair, even though I dislike Donald Trump a lot. I do like to hear both sides, and I think it's important that we have these types of discussions. That's what makes America great. We could disagree. I just don't like it when people say stupid things when they call in. That's all.
Yeah, that's why I like listening to your show, because you can disagree and be polite about it, and we all come from different places.
I'm not always polite, though. I'm not always polite.
It's usually warranted.
That's true. I appreciate that.
The only thing I wanted to say on this matter was,
yes, sir.
I'm 45. I spent 20 years in the military, and I was out when it was not legal, it was not okay, and then before I retired, it was. So, everybody thought the military was going to fall apart when you started allowing openly gay people in the military. And
right.
I really think there's no difference. There's really no difference.
I agree. I think people should be able to live their lives the way they want to. I do question some of these football players' motives, like Michael Sam, when he decided to come out, just like I questioned Colin Kaepernick when he decided to take a knee. I thought his career was going down the toilet. Chris, I really do appreciate your phone call and your kind words. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And I only want to add one last quick thing on Mike Pence. I grew up Southern Baptist.
Yep.
So I definitely understand where they come from, but there's a fine line between what Jesus did with the sinners and being there and being with them and putting them down. And I
agree.
Think there's a fine line there, and a lot of Christians today, they trample all over it.
Chris,
you make great show.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. You make such a good.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
You make such a good point there, Chris. Would Jesus want your wife to work in a school that doesn't allow homosexuals? Would Jesus want you working in a school that discriminates? Make no mistake about it. That's where the Pence family works at. 257-5396. Let's go to Brian. Brian, what's going on?
Actually, yes, he would. And
that's ridiculous.
You keep propagating this false information about Mike Pence. You've
not
been
propagating
doing it
at all.
Since I listened to you.
Not propagating at all.
Yeah, you are.
No,
because
not at
he
all.
never voted for any of this.
I never said he voted. I never said he voted. You're propagating. I said he supported a bill that could have been.
Not
yes, he did.
In fact, I'm looking at an article written by a gay journalist right now, refuting everything you keep bringing up.
I don't care. I don't know who the journalist is.
In fact,
it's true.
He supported and what he voted for was for AIDS money.
You're completely misconstruing what we are actually talking about. Yes, you are.
You hammer this.
Yes, you are.
You've been hammering this for a year.
Okay. Anything
it's
that
one
you
of your four go-to
anything
things.
that you Brian, anything that you disagree with that I say, you Google it and then you try to find a fake news article to try to dispute what I'm saying.
I have two articles by two gay men refuting everything you say.
So what are you saying? A gay man can't write an article that's false? Is that what you're saying?
No, but what you're saying is false. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's your opinion, Brian. I disagree with you.
You know what JD said yesterday that was right on? Everybody lies. I do. You do.
Oh, okay.
He does.
Well, I'm glad you admitted that you're
the
lying
only
today.
one
Thank
who
you.
Doesn't admit.
I'm glad.
When he lies.
Okay. I'll lie right now, Brian. You are an unbelievable caller. Everything you say is correct. There you go. I lied. Are you happy?
And actually, Brian, he did admit yesterday that he lies as well.
Brian,
but I do think he was trying to embarrass me. I just recognized this. I just realized this when I was sitting down.
we got to move on. We got more phone
that
calls.
he was trying to embarrass me while I was reading this news.
No, I wasn't.
You were.
We were having fun.
You always had
no,
fun?
we were having fun.
Okay, at my expense?
You've never done that before.
Okay,
I actually
okay.
praised. How was your bathroom visit, by the way?
I was outstanding.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're back. 257-5396 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the show. Brian, I hope you like that. I lied. You're a fantastic caller. There you go. 257-5396.
Thanks for the call, Brian.
You're amazing. Let's go to Alex. Alex, what's going on?
Hey, Alex.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Good show.
Thank you.
Brian, just calm down a little bit. We don't want you to become a Trump guy by offending people. Come on, Brian, you're better than that. I know. That's why I started listening to you.
That's insulting. Don't ever compare me to Donald Trump. That's
I said
insulting.
don't become. I didn't say you are.
Okay,
I said
fair.
Don't become.
That's fair, Alex. You're right. Okay.
So
I'm going to
here's
take
the
a couple
thing.
deep breaths.
Okay, good. Because that's what
Okay,
I'm
I'm
trying
good.
to do.
I'm good.
I mean,
Okay,
I
I'm
love
good.
I love your show because exactly what you go with the private call says. I don't want to hear one side. I love hearing this.
I appreciate that, Alex. So
Okay,
what do you think about
here's
this?
Here's the thing. I agree totally. We shouldn't discriminate. Absolutely, because none of us choose to be whoever we are. It's skin color, height, whether we got hair or not, or gay or lesbian or whatever. What bothers me is that it seems to me that there seems to be an agenda going on with the LGBTQ, whatever all those letters are. And the reason I say this is because I know a couple of people close to my family who are gay, and they don't agree with it because they think that this should be a private matter. Discrimination at the job absolutely shouldn't be existing.
So can I ask you, Alex, because I agree with what you said. Obviously, we're in agreement there. I think any normal, decent human being is not for discrimination. But what do you think about, these football players that are coming out and, Michael Sam comes out, struggles to be an NFL player, doesn't make it. Now we have Ryan Russell, who's not on an NFL contract. So while we agree there shouldn't be discrimination, and we talked about Mike Pence, I also think sometimes people try to use it to their advantage. I think Megan Rapinoe. Listen, I met Megan Rapinoe a few weeks ago. She was very nice. But with that being said, I do think she is using the fact that she is a lesbian to her advantage.
Yeah, I understand that, but you know something? That angers the rest of us because that tells me I'm heterosexual. What does that mean? I'm supposed to come out publicly and tell you, Brian, hey, this is what I do with my wife
right,
instead?
Right.
I mean, come on.
Well, I'd
That's
like to hear that.
ridiculous.
I'd love to hear those details, but maybe that'll be for another phone call.
That'll be another show. Brian, listen, real quick. The one thing that really drives me crazy regarding this kind of subject is my wife went to a library many, many years ago when my son was very young, and she went to pick up a book. And one of the books from the kids section, not the adult section, was basically how you should deal with your two fathers or your two mothers.
Right.
Or what if you feel you're unsure about your sexual identity? These are little kids.
Right. Exactly.
Come on. So that's why as Christians, I believe in God a lot, but I believe that God also loves homosexuals. Let me explain to you, because a lot of them, like I told you, I've got close people that are homosexual, and you know what? They don't know why they are like that. But you know something?
Yes.
I'm not going to hate them and discriminate.
Of course not.
But I don't want the agenda, political agenda. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you, Alex. I'm with you 100%, my man. I'm with you 100%, my man. Always good to hear from you. Thank you for the phone call.
Thanks for the call, Alex.
Thank you. You too, Alex. Be safe. 257-5396 is the call. Alex brought up something very interesting. I'm not going to say her name, but there is a local host in this town that lost her job because she was talking about two fathers or two mothers raising a child. And she said something that was completely over the top, and she tried to make the case, and she did it not very eloquently, where she said that, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but
I'm not familiar with the situation.
But she went along, well, I'm explaining it. She went along the lines of saying that you cannot raise your child as well as a man and a woman would, and there's no study to back that up. And when she made those comments, I thought they were over the top. They weren't warranted, and she lost her job because of it, because a lot of people from the gay community were going after her.
I'm sure what she meant was from a chromosome situation with, testosterone, estrogen, strength, emotion.
This is somebody
the
that
different dynamics that each sex offers.
But the person that made
I'm sure that's what she meant to say.
I mean,
but she
perhaps,
didn't say it correctly.
but the person that made these comments also happens to be a Christian, also happens to be, does not believe in homosexuality, and you're saying something with no evidence to back it up, and it's a very, very serious subject, and I disagree with her. I think that 2 men or 2 women could raise a child just as well, maybe even better than some other regular parents. There's a lot of problems with parenting in the world today, and I don't think it has anything to do with what your sexuality is. So I disagree with that premise completely. And I don't think you would hear anybody on the left make a claim like that, but you do hear a lot of people on the right make claims like that and complain about these gender neutral bathrooms and all this other stuff. Don't even get me started with Mike Pence. Don't even get me started with this guy.
Anyways, with the NFL thing, I don't have a huge issue. I mean, I don't have any issue with people or players being gay as long as they aren't creating an issue by, coming on to other players.
I just question timing
in the locker room, whatever. But as long as they're not coming on to other players in the locker room and creating an issue.
I don't have a problem
with management and just like Kaepernick. As long as they're not creating an issue, as long as it's not a poison or a cancer to the team and the revenue. And because again, it's a business.
All right, well, we'll continue this conversation.
People own these teams.
We'll continue this conversation on the other side of the break. Mr. X, Hollywood Insider, coming up next. You're listening to The Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.